You want to talk about the confusing situation with Georgia and like what the heck happens with Georgia now?
All right, so you have Georgia at 7. I have Georgia at 8. Let's get to Georgia.
A lot of this is going to change, I think, based on how Georgia plays against Tennessee. There's the uncertainty with Nico's health and availability for this upcoming weekend. There's a lot of room right now for Georgia to like reestablish themselves. And I don't know how much I'm going to push them up after how they play against Tennessee. But if they win handily, like, are we going to go back to supporting them? Are we going to go back? Like, if they cover the 10-point spread that we're talking about here that's projected for them, are we just going to go back to saying that this Georgia team's great? Their issues that they have on offense, I just don't know, like, what that means for them down the line. Are they fraudulent? Is that how you would frame it? Like, I just don't know how to put it.
Well, you would have to move them up in yours because you have Tennessee at 5, and both teams would be 2-2.
Right.
I think you would have to put them above Penn State. You'd have to put them above Alabama. They'd still be in the top 5, top 6. I don't know what – wanting to like cast Georgia aside here is asinine to me in a lot of ways.
That's
because,
my point.
like, if they beat Tennessee this week, well, they have a win that Alabama does not have. They don't. They also don't have a win, quite honestly, that Penn State has, that Tennessee has. Literally, because it's Tennessee. I'm trying to think about Ole Miss would be ahead of them because you have a head-to-head situation. Here's the thing with the SEC, and you got worked over yesterday about glazing the SEC. You're not wrong about the SEC. Joe, there's no way that you can legitimately, outside of Oregon, look at Ohio State and Penn State or Indiana and tell yourselves, oh, well, you know what? They have one loss, so they deserve to be where they are. The problem with that is very easy to me. Joe, Georgia has played more ranked teams in the last month than Indiana and Ohio State combined. So when I look at a team like Georgia and we're saying it's just a 2-loss thing, well, who are they playing and where are they playing them at? They're playing them on the road. They're playing them in Oxford. You get to go to play a Rudy Poo Nebraska team that just fired their OC, and Dana Holgerson's coming in.
Okay. So first of all, I don't want to go into the Big Ten SEC debate.
Well,
somebody pointed out
that's the debate you have to have here.
Somebody pointed out to me that argument isn't super valid because LSU lost to USC at the beginning of the year, and USC is one of the worst teams in the Big Ten right now.
But Georgia hasn't played LSU.
I know. I'm just saying that just generally the Big Ten, I don't want to get back into that argument. The back end of the Big Ten is very competitive and a lot more competitive than people realize. They beat up on each other, so none of their records are very good. But to what you're talking about, though, I think that there is a lot of truth to what you're saying with Georgia and how the rest of the season projects. I think that there is a lot of.
Did Brian tell you that?
No, it was actually I noticed a commenter pointed that out. Somebody, just a random commenter, somebody pointed that out, and I was like, "Shit! How did I not think of that last night when I was arguing with Blake?" Thank you to that random commenter. I should have given their name and to give them credit. What I was saying though is that our doubts in Georgia feel like they're going to be short-lived for a brief period of time because of what happens with this Tennessee game. I have faith that they're going to win the football game, considering, again, how banged up Tennessee is, and their resume and their on-field performance will be reflective enough of them being worthy of being back in the top 5. And I'd feel pretty comfortable, even with a bad performance, if Penn State and Georgia played, if you had a bad performance from Carson Beck, I would still take Georgia to win that football game. Will Howard didn't play great against Penn State, and they still won that game because their defense took over and got stops in the red zone. Georgia is better than a number of these teams in the top, and especially they're better than Texas because they beat Texas. Georgia right now is the most confusing team to talk about because there's just all these weird interweaving lines that get crossed with who they've beaten and who they've lost to now that they lost to Ole Miss.
So we're getting called the P word inside the chat. So I'm just going to throw this out here to Citizen, whatever your name is. You're probably 5'8" and no one likes you, so you might want to shut up. So the second thing is, okay, Joe, I look at, I hate the argument, like legitimately hate the argument. Oh, well, they got 2 losses and wins are the only thing that matters. It's not the only thing that matters. It's not. It simply isn't. Okay, because you can't tell me that a loss to Ole Miss is a dogfight with Nebraska and that's even. It's not even, Joe. It's not remotely close to being even. You know that, and I know that. You watch the games. Everybody knows that. If you have a mind, like if you have a brain, you know that that's true.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong there. In reference to Georgia, here's the thing, though, Joe. I agree with you on a lot of their points. If they can't find ways to run the football here, I don't give a shit what they're going to do. They're going to continue to get beat. So better figure something out. All right.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.